the kids are fed, things are cleaned up. Like, don't just be sitting at home doing nothing all day.
Shit's clean when I come home. There's fucking food ready. I'm providing. I'm doing I'm not saying doing all the work because she's taking care of the kids, and that is also work. That could also.
You're doing the work, the job.
I'm bringing in the bacon.
Work,
I'm bringing in the fucking bacon. You know what I mean? She should be cooking the bacon. You know what I mean, Wallace? Essentially, man. I'm not being rude or anything like that, but it's true.
Hello and welcome to another episode of 7 Days Makes 1 Week. I'm Freddie B, back in the place to be. Producer Zach's sauna. He's back behind the mics on the ones and twos, hopefully making sure the audio is good and the video are just as good as each other this week. We got a little bit of new equipment though, so we should be good to go. Immediately to my left is young Nico, and to his left is Big D, Big Dan. How you guys doing this week? How's everybody doing?
Not too bad. You did the classic Fred and forgot to say please like, subscribe, rate, comment.
Attaboy, Dan. Everybody hit up the social medias, you can check us out on YouTube. Make sure you share with all your friends. Like, subscribe, comment, thumbs up, whatever else you should do on social media. Help us out. Appreciate you, Dan.
I got you. Yeah, not too much, man. Just working this week. Canada Day, working as well. Keeping it real.
Yeah, you and I worked together on Canada Day. We drove down to Stampede Ranch.
Yes, sir. That's a beautiful ranch.
I actually have a little video of it. I'll actually send it to you. I always say that and don't do it, but I'm actually going to do it right now so I don't forget.
Is that the same ranch that you were at a couple weeks ago?
Like a couple weeks ago, my friend Din and I went, and then this week...
The cowboys with the cabins. And
they got another vehicle?
Gotcha.
They got two more.
They still got more coming.
A straight-up work truck. Like, didn't even have a back bench. And then they got... Was it also a 3500? I feel like it wasn't.
I think it was a half ton. Yeah.
And then they got two 3500s.
Yeah, and they got more trucks
white,
coming.
Sierra, like, fuck yeah.
Motherfuckers got money, eh?
Oh. And the fencing on that property alone is worth, like, well over 100 G's. Like,
really?
And it's just wood. But, like, it's just endless and it's beautiful. And their gates are ballin'. They got a beautiful metal plate with an inscription on it telling the history about the ranch. And,
I didn't see that the first time.
Where is
it? That's fire. Longview, Alberta. It's like literally right as the mountains start, pretty much.
Gotcha.
Southern Alberta.
Still kind of like hills-ish.
Yeah, but like the mountains are right there. Like
by Calgary, kind of?
It's like you go to Okotoks and then you go west a little bit.
Okay.
Half hour, if that.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's actually super cool, so we will cut it out real quick and share the video. There's a video of us driving into the ranch. You can see all of the different buildings and how much cattle they have. And that's only part of their land. We're assuming it's an absolutely massive fucking lot. But that was cool. What about you, young Neek?
I live a boring life, man. Working. Like, just basically working. That's,
How's the car doing?
The car is good. I got no problems. Yeah, it gets me good gas mileage and shit. So fill up the tank and that bitch fucking... I've been on 840 kilometers for like 100 kilometers. Yeah, man. So I'm like, yo, this thing's fucking pretty sweet. But yeah, can't complain.
Sweet.
Yeah, so.
PZ? Or PZ?
Z.
Depends on if you're American or Canadian.
Which one's Canadian?
Well, I'm half and half, so I'm cool with either.
I guess, Z.
Z is American.
Mm-hmm. And Z is Canadian.
Z, okay.
Also English.
Is it?
In Britain, they also say Z, yeah.
Which is strange because they don't use the same units like of measurements, but they're still using that same.
No, doesn't England use most of the ones that we use? Isn't it just America?
It's America's the only one that uses fucking. I think they're metric, right? And we're all standard, or is it the other way around?
There's imperial and there's standard.
We use metric.
Metric is what we use here with liters, kilograms,
yes.
kilometers an hour.
Millimeters.
But like, there's a difference between like a British gallon and a U.S. gallon. So even though they're both gallons, there's like a difference in. Like the American is like 8?
3.8.
And I think the UK gallon is actually 4 liters.
Really?
Yeah,
Well, it makes
different.
more sense.
Why does America always got to be different?
No.
The Fahrenheit Celsius one's the stupidest fuck. Literally every country in the world, Celsius. 0 is freezing.
I think in the UK
boiling.
it's Fahrenheit too. I think.
So
I've never heard them say Fahrenheit watching like soccer podcasts.
Maybe it's Celsius. Yeah.
What buddy at work kind of put it into good perspective. He was like, yo, you know how much money it would cost to change all of that shit? Just think of how much money it would cost to change every sign, a speed limit sign in, let's say, LA.
Yeah.
Well,
It would probably cost the fucking hundreds of millions of dollars to change every sign from
The material to the labor.
from 80 miles to 60 kilometers or whatever it is. It would cost so much money, so they're
it goes
probably
the
just
opposite.
like,
I think 60 miles is 100 kilometers.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's probably what it is, a money thing.
Oh, for sure. But like Canada made that switch. I don't know when
Years
was that,
ago.
in the 90s or was
I
it
think
2000s?
it was
I don't know.
I think it was
Before I
even
moved
earlier
here,
than
that's for
that.
sure.
Well, it was definitely
I
not the
think it was-
90s or the 2000s.
Well, maybe it was the 80s then.
I think it was
Definitely,
early,
but
man.
as long as I can always remember.
See, they
it's
made the
always
switch
was
early
longer.
enough where it was
Let's look it
still
up.
viable financially. You know, you didn't have to change as much, and there wasn't all this crazy
Shit
stuff.
was cheaper.
Yeah, but the states waited too long.
But anyway, we skipped over you. PZ, PZ.
Oh, sorry.
Nah, nothing. I just had a decent weekend. Hung out with Mario on Friday night, which was pretty fun. I went to a little house party, then came home and had a little bit more fun. And then yesterday I hung out with my mom and shit. And then today I'm with you guys.
1970.
Oh, wow. That was early.
Canada switched from.
Beginning with a
kilometer-
white paper in 1970, Canada gradually began to convert from an imperial to a metric system of measurements. And honestly, metric system is way easier.
Oh, yeah. Well,
1,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Like everything is is
Yeah,
all
10,
Yes.
100, 1,000.
Yes, you start to get
10,000.
into fucking a mile is 1.6. So
Yeah,
like
a yard is this
3.3.
Yeah.
Like everything is
You got 3/16 of an inch and shit like
yeah,
that. Like,
man,
what are those
3/16,
measurements,
but
dog?
you can
Like,
just grab a fucking tape measure, boom, 100 millimeters right there, and it's like quarter inch. I mean, quarter inch is easy to find, but
Yeah. I know what
5
you're saying.
16ths.
And then you gotta remember all these different fractions and shit.
Yeah,
It's
man,
like-
fuck all that shit.
Yeah.
Well, I was when I was last week when we were putting up fence with Buddy. He's like, we had a tape measure and it was all in inches and shit, and I'm like, yo, I don't even know how to read this. And Mike's like, I know how to read this, and I was like, perfect, because I only know millimeters. He's like, man, fuck millimeters. And I was like, dude, they're so easy, man. It's so fucking easy, like, right there. 50
Mike's pretty
mils.
good at math, though. He's really good at mental math. Back in the day when we were just sitting there bored, it'd just be him and I would just give him, like, the dumbest fucking fractions to try and do. I'd just be like, Mike, what's, like, I don't know, like 776 divided by 13. Like, just numbers that would be, like, pretty tough to do the mental math, and within, like, 10, 20 seconds, he'd be like, I can't do that math. But he'd be like, I don't know, 12 point something 6.
Yeah, yeah,
And then it'd be
yeah.
like 12.75 or some shit like that.
It's super close.
Yeah, like he's really good at mental. I think he used to be. Now when I bring it up to him, he doesn't like doing it. He's like, man, fuck off. He's like, too fucking high.
Too
for
much
this shit."
work.
Yeah, I'm too fucking high for this shit. Fuck off. So you had some extracurricular fun on Friday, did you, young Zach? Wait, am I the oldest one here? Can I get away with calling all of you young? I'm born in 89.
I'm 30.
Yeah, I'm 32. Yeah, you're all youngins. Just kidding.
How old are you?
28.
Oh,
Oh shit.
Yeah, 28, 30, 31, and 32.
Yeah.
I'm like almost damn near a year older than him.
And he's exactly a year older than me.
You're all November 4th
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah, buddy.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I'm November 22nd.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Franny's what, November 9th?
11th.
11th, yeah.
Yeah, because that's my
11th, yeah.
girlfriend's birthday.
My
too.
niece is November 9th.
Nick Chimko.
Nim
is-
Chimko's like the 6th or 7th.
The
Dan
3rd, I
Champagne is
think.
the 5th.
Really?
Yeah, and Ryan Balanecki's like the fucking 6th or some shit.
Really?
Lots of Scorpios.
So is that like Valentine's babies then, or what?
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
I prefer not
yeah,
to
it
think
is.
about
Yeah,
that.
Valentine's is 9 months before
that's
that.
right. Yeah.
What did you tell me the one day that your grandma or something told you?
Oh, my dad. Pretty sure my dad brought like a bottle of wine over to see my mom on Valentine's Day, and then
The
9
rest
months.
is history.
The rest is history. 9 months. 9 months later, here I am, baby.
Young Neek
Yep.
coming through. And young Neek, you had an eventful Friday too, did you?
Yeah, it was pretty good.
How much do you want to talk about the Darius Ebb side of this?
I kind of want to talk about him in general. Not pertaining to me per se, but just in general. And there was another guy too that I keep seeing on Facebook and Instagram, some bald guy with glasses. I'm not exactly sure his name. He's sitting around a table with like a bunch of females, and he was talking about like
Have you ever heard of the Fresh and Fit podcast?
No.
You have, clearly. So when you instantly started telling me about this, Fresh and Fit is instantly what I went to. Because they're kind of like that guy, but like full-blown AIDS with it. Like, these guys are so goddamn
misogynistic.
toxic. So misogynistic. And like, some of the things that they're saying are the same that guy's saying, where like girls overvalue certain things and they're not bringing things to relationships and blah, 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 blah. But I remember they were on Flagrant 2, and at some points, like, even Andrew Schultz and Akash were like, yo, bro, like, we can cut this part out if you want. And they're like, nah, man, like, we believe this shit. And they were like, all right. And then, like, a bunch of people started shitting on them on the internet. And then there was, like, they were like, no, those guys edited. And Andrew Schultz like, dude, I got the raw footage. Like, I'll send the raw footage to anyone that wants to see it. I asked them if they wanted it edited out. They said no, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, man. These guys believe this shit because they know it's true, man. they probably have the experience with these females who, like I say, they value themselves higher than they actually are. Okay, so yesterday.
You can say that this does apply for some males too, right?
Oh, for sure. But at the end of the day, that's what type of females males like. Females like assholes, guys that are alpha males that are wanted by other women as well. They like a challenge. They don't like a guy, the white knight. They don't like the white knight. Not all of them. Okay, does not pertain to
generally, yeah.
This does not pertain to all women, but yes. So yesterday, I'm going to talk about overvaluing. Yesterday, we go to lunch.
Yeah.
Park on the side of the road. I'm looking for a parking spot. Buddy parks in front of me, and then as I'm driving down, I knew that there was a spot available when I come there, but as I come back around, there's no spot. And I look, and this fucking chick in a Mercedes parks her vehicle like there's about 8 feet in front of her, 8 feet behind her. And I get out, and I park way up at the front. I wasn't even really allowed to park there, but I parked there anyway. And I get out, and I look over at her, and I'm like... Actually, I was talking to Franny. I didn't talk to her, but she heard me saying, I was like, yo, this fucking bitch don't know how to park. And she, like, yells at me, oh, I already paid, blah, blah, blah. I thought you were some crackhead fucking talking shit to me. And I was like, yo, do I look like a crackhead? And, of course, she says yes. And I mean, I didn't look like a crackhead by any means.
No, you were wearing, like, a nice sweater and stuff. I remember looking at your sweater thinking that was a nice sweater.
Right? So, like... Anyways, I'm not going to lie. The girl she was good looking. On a looks scale, she was up there. But with the attitude scale, she was down there. So that right there lowers her sexual attractiveness. It's going from potentially a 10 to a 5. If she was an 8, well, she's now a 3. You know what I'm saying? Because she's got a shitty fucking attitude. She thinks she's hot shit, and... What man wants that? What man wants to deal with a fucking chick with an attitude? Nobody.
I know a couple personally that do all the time, but yeah.
Pardon?
I said I know a couple personally that deal with chicks that they like a girl with an attitude.
Yeah, but that means
I don't know if so far as an attitude, but like you gotta at least have enough like pushback to keep me honest and keep me.
That's
honest.
right.
Well, of course,
that's right.
Of course, yes, but at this point, this chick is like, she's thinking that she deserves that. She deserves to take up that whole spot. Oh, I'm driving a Mercedes. I look like this. I look like that. I deserve that. It's like, no, you probably don't bring very much to the table other than your fucking...
She's like a CEO or something.
I mean, maybe. But then again, her dad could have bought her that vehicle. We don't know that, right? But like I said, at the end of the day, what are you bringing to the table? Us men, we got to go to work. We gotta we gotta wake up, or like at the end of the day, a female could just put on some makeup and that could be good enough for some guys. Like the video that I was watching with the bald guy in the glasses, I'll have to figure out what the guy's name is. But he said like, there's like a CEO or whatever. Is that who it is?
No, I know. He lives in like Romania or some shit too, right?
He sounds like he has an accent of some
his dad's
sort.
from there, and like he lives out there because it's way cheaper tax-wise. I know exactly who you're talking about. He's also It's pretty much just as toxic as like Fresh
Yeah,
and Fit.
man.
Like, not quite. He's more like Jordan Peterson and Fresh and Fit combined. You know, like
Okay,
halfway
yeah.
in between. Like some
Because Jordan Peterson kind of preaches some shit like that too.
100%.
Yeah. So
Less toxic.
in the
super
video,
harsh.
he says that there's like, I don't know, the big billionaire CEO who's got a fucking $10 million yacht, who had to work his bag off for that to get that yacht. And then there's a bunch of chicks on that yacht. Just to get on that yacht, all they had to do was put on makeup. And they're on the same yacht. You know what I mean? It's like one guy had to work his bag off for it, while the other girl just had to look pretty for it. And chances are that girl is not.
Looking pretty tough though, dude. Like those
And also, it could be
girls
argued.
put in a lot of work to do that. I mean, those girls
But-
are in the gym. Those girls are spending money. Those girls are.
But it could be-
Probably have a
maybe-
fucking eating disorder.
It could be argued that these guys are showing out like this to attract those very exact females. So they're all
That's
filling.
also true.
They're
Well,
both
yes.
filling roles that are required by each other.
I
Right?
was just gonna say, I feel like the more powerful the man, they usually want like people in our situations, collectively, the four of us, we are looking for like a 50-50 split.
Yes.
You know, I actually heard this thing a little while ago where it was like some couple on a TV show or a movie, I don't remember what it was, but the one person said 50-50 and then the other person said like, nah, fuck 50-50, this is 100-100, like I don't want you putting in half of your energy, I want you putting in 100 of you and I want 100 of me, which I actually really like that. I told my girlfriend that I thought that was super cool, but people like us, like we're talking about like responsibilities, money-wise, contributions. We're looking for like a 50-50 thing. We want our partner to contribute as much to our
High value.
destination and our goal as we are.
You want a high value partner.
Though I feel like those people, like rich people or whatever, they're not looking for 50-50.
No, they don't give a fuck, right? They technically don't give a fuck because they have enough to provide for whoever. Like there's probably like 10 of those bitches on that yacht. You know what I mean? Where like he could pay for every single one of them or every.
He probably did. They're
That's
probably
what I
all
mean.
there getting paid.
Exactly, and that's nothing to him. Whereas for us to have 10 on the go and pay for all of them, like we'd be fucking broke.
Or
You
would
know
even
what I
be
mean?
Possible.
Be broke with one, man.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, there,
Straight up.
well, there you go, right?
Just like women put in a lot of time and effort to look pretty, and that takes a lot of time. A lot of women have or want the guy to be doing the same thing. Essentially, they want him to also go to the gym all the time and also be looking fresh and fit all the fucking time. But they also have to go and work do all this other shit on top of that to make sure they provide. So like, it's not like it's like, oh, you look pretty and the other person works. It's like, nah, you look pretty and work and you just look pretty. Like that's
That's
a
what
lot
I'm
of those, like,
saying.
basic bitches, like that's how they think.
Yeah,
right?
That's
Like,
what I'm
the
saying, right?
stereotypical trophy
All I
wife
gotta do
with
is
the
look-
fat,
Yeah,
ugly
exactly.
husband isn't. It's the
That's
yoke.
right. That's
good-looking
only when you're like
husband with
once
the
you're in the
trophy wife.
multi-million-dollars. That's when you see that huge like discrepancy where there's the old fat guy with
Yeah.
lots of money, and then the young 20-year-old fucking top model. Like
Yeah.
you know, like
Yeah.
that doesn't happen unless there's like serious money involved. right?
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
Exactly.
you can't just be some welder making $200K and have this like super hot fucking wife. It's usually like
Yeah, there's a couple people in Kelowna, I'm sure, that would like to disagree with you, but
well,
I'm sure those guys sell fucking
people in
crack.
Kelowna aren't
No,
just
they
like
probably sell
welders and
coke,
shit,
yeah.
dog. They like they
Coke.
own
and
companies
also
at that
every
point.
girl in Kelowna is like slim waist, big tits, fake lips.
Yeah.
Like they all are fucking.
They all come from money though. Usually, that's why they don't have to work. That's all they do. Like they.
Yeah, there's
fashion
drug
is their
dealers'
job.
girlfriends most of the time. Most of the time, just dating good old dope dealers. So anyway, away from you fully agree with this guy? You think some of it's a little much?
He makes some very valid points. Like, yeah, he makes some super valid points. Shout out Darius M. If anybody ever wants to check him out. You guys probably think I'm fucked if you do watch him, but no, not you guys, but people who watch. He makes some valid points on the way like these girls are like.
But you gotta understand, not all girls are.
No,
like that.
no,
For
no.
instance, the girl you went on a date with on Friday.
No, the girl I went on a date with Friday. She's pretty cool. She
Yeah, tell us about her.
Oh, we'll get to yours too.
I don't want that to happen.
we went on a date. We had a good time. But she's not really like that. Like, so with that being said, what made me realize that she wasn't like that right away was we went to the gym. We had a little workout or whatever, and then we went for a couple drinks at Boston Pizza.
That's an interesting first date.
Yeah.
To the gym.
So we went for Boston Pizza. You didn't eat anything. We just had a couple drinks. And when the bill came, she looked over at me. She's like, "Yo, do you want me to pay for it?" And I was fairly stunned because that doesn't happen very often. And I was like, I'll pay for this and you pay for our next activity. She's like, okay, cool. Right then and there, that tells me
Which was mini golf.
Which was mini golf.
Which you had already planned to go do.
Yes. So right then and there, that tells me that she's interested in me. She's not just here because
For a free drink,
free drink, a free meal. She's willing to do 50% of it or whatever, or 100%, or she's willing to put in some effort. And she knows that it's not all me who should have to do it. And I was like, thinking to myself, I was like, yo, that's legit. Normally, I've been on multiple dates where like no female has ever offered to pay. I was always just like, yeah, okay, I'll pay. No female was ever like, oh, here, I'll give you some money I'll give you half of that or whatever. And like even when I drove her home, we stopped at Tim Hortons and we're in the drive-thru and I look over and she's handing me a $10 bill. I'm like, okay. I mean, I shouldn't have to pay for everything, nor should she. This is, you know what I mean? Like this, I was like, yo, that's like pretty sweet. She's fairly legit compared to most chicks.
Like, I feel like I really agree with you when it comes to that, but I feel like it was kind of like I saw my parents as an example. Like my mom always went to work, had like a good government job or whatever. So I think that like put in my head, like I would never want. I always grew up thinking I would never want just like a stay-at-home wife that like didn't do anything but like raised her kids or whatever. But then I started working at the car dealership that I used to work at, and I was talking to one of the guys in finance, and his wife stayed at home with his 2 kids, Fingers, shout out Fingers, and he broke it down. He was like, for the job that she's actually gonna get for how expensive childcare is for my 2 kids,
It's not even worth it.
we would be taking home an extra like $250 a month. He's like, at that point, why not just have my wife raise my kids? You know what I mean? Like, fuck it. Like, fuck it. Well, what's 250? I mean, he's a finance guy at a car dealership. Like, he's making good enough money to support a family. It's like, yo, what the fuck is $250 for a stranger to raise my 2 kids?
Pretty much, yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I get that. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, I agree
It changed
with that.
my whole perspective on it. I was like, I'd never really thought about it like that. I didn't know how expensive childcare was.
Yeah, childcare is super fucking expensive. For like
Crazy
a month,
expensive.
it's like fucking $1,500 or some shit. That's literally like it could be a mortgage payment for whatever.
It's double my mortgage payment.
Yeah, that's double my mortgage payment. You know what I mean? So like, that's the thing is I have no problem. If I was to have a wife, I would have and I was making enough money, I would have no problem with her staying at home and being a stay-at-home mom, as long as she is like legit. You come home,
the kids are fed, things are cleaned up. Like, don't just be sitting at home doing nothing all day.
Shit's clean when I come home. There's fucking food ready. I'm providing. I'm not saying doing all the work because she's taking care of the kids, and that is also work. That could also.
You're doing the work, the job.
I'm bringing in the bacon.
Income work.
I'm bringing in the fucking bacon. You know what I mean? She should be cooking the bacon. You know what? You know what I mean? Well, essentially, man, I'm not being rude or anything like that, but it's true. If she's not working, what is she providing? What is her value? This is where it comes back to low and high value. What is her value? What does she bring to the table? If it's not money, I expect it to be other things, whether it be laundry, cleaning, raising my kids right.
Is pussy enough of a value for that?
No.
I knew the answer. I just had to ask.
No,
I knew it. I just had to ask.
No, like I mean, like that obviously helps, but you're just getting laid. You're just getting laid. At the end of the day, it's like, okay.
Any relationship you're with that person, you should be getting laid. Right?
Of course, yes.
It shouldn't be a bargaining chip.
No, it's
like
not
how fathers get a blowjob for Father's Day. It's
yeah,
like,
man.
Yo, what?
Yeah, man. You should be getting one. Whenever, not
that
whenever
day, this day, the other day.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to say they're there to serve you, but they're like, they're not. But like, if they're at a stay-at-home mom, then they have to be. You got to be providing. What are you doing to?
Just give him the rope. Give him the rope.
I'm almost done. I ain't too worried. Like, they just have it is what it is, man. They have to. If I'm bringing home food and money, and they should be doing their wifely duties.
So if you found a girl that made like $250K a year, $300K a year, could provide
I'll be
everything, would you
stay-at-home
be a
dad,
stay-at-home
no
dad?
problem.
Yeah, no problem.
Stay-at-home dad, no problem. Fuck
Them floors
yeah.
be spick-span.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Eat off them bitches.
I'd be wearing that maid outfit as soon as she get home.
You cooking that bacon then?
Cooking that fucking bacon. I'm
Cooking that
Yo,
bacon.
I fucking like cooking bacon because I'm good at it. So
Nico actually does whip up some good bacon.
In the frying pan or the oven?
frying pan.
Okay, just wondering.
I don't fuck around.
Okay.
Sorry, what were you gonna say, Dad?
See, like-
I wanted to see how far Nico was gonna go.
No, that's all good.
I mean, I might come off a little abrasive when I say it, but it's at the end of the day, it's fucking true. And if nobody believes, if you don't believe me, then you're just being like a white knight and like beta.
from a primal instinct and a purely statistical like point of view, everything Nico's saying makes perfect sense. Like even like back in the day of the hunter-gatherer type things, right? The men went out and hunted and protected the village, and the women cleaned, made clothes, watched after the kids, prepared the food, right? Like so, even from our primal like duties, like what was built back into our DNA long time ago, that's like still around, right? So like from a primal sense, that makes total sense. And then from a statistical point of view, that everyone should be putting in equal work, whether it's 50-50 or 100-100, also makes perfect sense, right? The only thing that's making what Nico's saying questionable is societal standards, right?
Yes, and I
And
was
at
gonna say
point,
that.
You look at any different culture, because what he's saying in certain cultures is like perfectly normal or not even far enough,
Not
right?
even questioned.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Not even
like,
far enough is what
You
he's
guys
saying,
want to hear
right?
something that's kind of weird about like societal standards? So, my girlfriend's like Polish through and through. Her parents are from
Yeah.
Poland. Blah blah blah. When I started going to family functions, like she told me, she's like, "Yo, like when you get there, you gotta like walk around and shake all the men's hands. Like it's just something that happens."
Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, all right, whatever." But then like she's got a sister a couple years younger than her, like a couple years younger, whatever. She's cool as fuck, so I just like give her a dap. I'm like, "Yo, what's up?" Give her a dap, and I go and give her mom a hug. And the first like 2 or 3 times, her mom was like non-receptive kind of, and then I went to her and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck? Like, does your mom not like me?" Like, and then she asked her mom about it. Her mom's like, "Honestly, I was like so shook that he was like saying hello to me too. Like, the men don't ever acknowledge the women." I was like, "Yo, what?" Like,
Yeah,
you're my
man.
girlfriend's mom. Of course I'm gonna hug you when I get here. Like, what are you
Yeah.
talking about? But yeah, like I noticed none of the other men, like your girlfriend, like if you were with your girlfriend, I walk up to you, "Oh, what's up?" I'd shake her hand. You know what I mean? Even when I seen Jasmine, we were walking up the outside, I'm like, "Hello, love," give her a hug. I haven't seen her in a bunch of years, blah, blah, blah. Like, how weird would that be if I just, like, didn't even acknowledge her? Just like, "Oh, what's up,
Yeah,
Nico?"
man.
That's Eastern Europe for you, my
Yeah,
guy.
man.
That shit's
Anything east of
wild.
Germany.
Societal standards.
Well, then that's like what he was saying. Society has put females on a pedestal where they think that they are higher than they are, when in all reality they don't bring any value. I'm not saying that they don't.
Some
but-
women have an easier ride than others, you know, like
for sure.
and men
Yes.
never get an easy ride.
Exactly. Exactly. Couldn't have said it any better.
Unless you're like a trust fund baby, but that's not.
I was
Even, that's
gonna
not
say,
'cause you're a
some men
man.
get an easy
That's just
ride,
because
yeah.
your family has money.
I know
That's
some
nothing to do with
guys
gender.
that have an easier ride than
we're
other guys.
we're so I'm talking about in general. You
Yeah.
say some guys. Well, some guys is fucking 0.1% or whatever, 1% maybe. Where females, as long as you're good looking, you put on makeup, you got a nice ass and big tits and shit, that can go way farther than. Like, how many females out pamper their husband?
Oh, fuck.
How many males out pamper the female? You know what I mean? That's like fucking society says you're supposed to.
Like the Mother's Day, Father's Day gifts, right? Mother's Day
Yeah.
gifts are always like flowers and a teddy bear and chocolates and something else. And then for dad, you get like, "Here's socks from the kids and I'll give you head later." It's like, wait, what?
Yeah, exactly, man. There's no effort put in for one, but then there's a bunch of effort put in for the other. And if you don't put in effort for the female, oh, what? Is that all I'm worth? Is that all I deserve? Shit like that. You know what I mean? Then you're like, you're your not mentality, but like you're made to feel bad about it, when in all reality you're not getting the same in return. So what's the fucking, you know what I mean? So yeah, society's got people fucked, in my opinion.
Is that what you were getting at?
No, I was just making a comment on what Nico said. That's all. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
not
fucking right,
disagreeing
man.
or agreeing with any
I
points
think
of
he's
view
right.
in this podcast.
100%.
For legal reasons, I'm not.
I mean,
Relax, Pierre.
it is what
Your publicist will be okay with it. Don't worry about it.
it is. What it is, man. These things are true, man. You can go, like, females will just go and put on a bunch of makeup, go onto Facebook or Instagram, post a picture, and get like fucking 1,000 likes in 5
But-
minutes.
Dog, how many women can just go on OnlyFans?
There you go.
And just do
That's
that
fair, but
versus how many men can just do that.
I'm not even gonna like air out his name. But you know our buddy that used to work at the car dealership, then he got let go not too far after that Christmas party where he kind of got in trouble.
Yep.
Man, he showed me his Tinder one day. Good-looking young kid, like, man, this guy slays pussy. Yoked kid, good money, good-looking dude. He showed me his Tinder one day, dude. Girls all shooting shots. Hey, how are you? Oh, hello. Oh, sexy. Boom, boom, dude. I'm talking like,
That's so.
boom, boom. Like he's a good-looking, rich, like successful enough for his age, yoked enough, charismatic as fuck, Sherwood Park kid that like he got the same treatment on Tinder that sexy girls get.
But dog, the percentage, like Nico said, the percentage of men that are in that position is so slim versus how many women can just
Yeah, you're right.
get the same attention.
That's
Like,
that's one out of
it's
a million,
ridiculous.
or one
Like-
out of 100,000.
Yeah, even
One
for
out of
Sherwood
almost
Park, that
all
is
of the people
very
that I
rare,
know.
man. There's
Yeah.
very few people in Sherwood Park that have that
Right?
kind of pull. Like,
And then, so there's obviously something about him that attracts these females to him. Is he blonde?
No,
Is he tall?
no.
no,
Oh fuck!
but he's.
My
What-
argument's
do
you
gonna
know
lose
what-
in here.
Do you happen
What
to know
it
what
is-
ethnicity he is?
I think he's half white and half Asian.
Okay,
I think.
yeah, that's.
I don't
he-
know what though.
Does he look like a drug dealer?
No, not the stereotypical drug dealer. He dresses nicely.
Do I know this guy?
No, you've never met him. No.
Show me a picture of him. I'm curious to see.
All right.
There's got to be something about him though that is attracting these females.
I think it's
to
his
him.
smile and his
He has
skin
a
tone.
like yeah, no
his
homo. The dude's a
exoticness.
very good-looking dude.
Yeah.
He's a yoked dude, and he is literally charismatic as fuck.
So, but that's the thing is, they don't know he's charismatic until.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I think it's his smile and then his skin tone.
This is his
which
Instagram
is
page.
kind of exotic
Feel
for
free
the
to
Sherwood
scroll
Park
as much
area,
as you'd
so
like.
that draws in all the white girls, which is all Sherwood Park.
I remember I ran into him though at the pint like 2 or 3 months ago, and he was fucking hammered. And I walk up to him like, "Hey, like, bro, how's it going? Da da da. Haven't seen you in a while. Blah blah blah." And he's just standing there, and after a couple seconds, he's like, "Yo, Fred." I'm like, "What's up, dude?" He's like, "I could take every motherfucker in here." I was like, "Bro, I think it's time to go home, dude. I think it's time to go home." I was like, "I don't know, bro. I think it's time to go home. Call it a night."
See, in my opinion, I don't think he. I think he's no homo. I don't think he's that good looking. He just looks like fucking an average Sherwood Park kid, in my opinion. And like, I could see right there, like, a bunch of girls go off on that because he's got that wavy hairstyle.
I don't know. Yeah, but like that's the thing. As soon as a girl talks to him, it's over. Like it's done.
Straight up.
She's got them roped in, eh?
Yeah, as soon
He's
as
got
they're
them
talking,
roped in.
Deal's done, man.
That doesn't
guy-
hurt either.
No, that doesn't hurt at all. That's
Yeah.
that's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it? A picture of his dink?
No, he's just yoked.
He's pretty jacked. It looks
Yeah.
like he takes good care of himself.
Oh yeah. Okay, it's the gym.
He hits the gym. Yeah, he's got a 6-pack for sure. So he be eating good and shit.
Big time.
You know what I mean?
Nah, whatever. Fuck it. Yeah, not that important. Yeah, no, but like I said, he's also super fucking charismatic and shit like that. That being said, like you said, the people on Tinder don't know that, but
Yeah, they don't know that right away, but so there's obviously something about his pictures.
I'm sure he has a quirky ass bio.
Probably, yeah.
I was just gonna say that. One, yeah, like I'm
Probably.
sure his bio's really good, and like, I don't know, man. Like I told him all the time, like, dude, if you're not taking home girls every fucking weekend, like, what is wrong with you?
But-
Then he sent me a couple Snapchats, and I was like, You're
Yeah.
doing
Fair
your
enough,
thing.
yeah.
You're doing your thing.
That guy goes and eats out every single fucking night at
Every
like
day.
Joey's or like at least
Joey-
local, like nothing below that. Like
Yeah, Joey's,
Yeah.
Earl's, local, Cactus Club. That's where he eats every day. Sushi.
Yeah.
And then the guy's fucking funny enough that he'll eat at somewhere like that, and it'll be a nice plate of sushi, but then he'll tag like Home Hardware, like his
Or the
location,
NW
Home
or
Hardware.
the
But he's sitting there eating
yeah.
sushi. Like he just gets it, man. He just gets it.
So with that being said, he's one of those
He's
guys.
kind of toxic though, so he's like doesn't even have
Well, there you
everything
go.
those guys you were talking about probably does agree
So
with him.
there you go. This guy probably gets message from these females, messages them once, and then doesn't respond for like ignores the shit out of them. Then these chicks are like, oh, how come he doesn't like me? Blah blah blah. Then when he responds again, fucking 5, 6, 7, 8 hours later, after he's super busy. He doesn't have time for me. I wonder what he's doing. Now he responds 5, 6, 7 hours later. Now these bitches are roped in. You know what I mean? Because then they're like, oh, now he's talking to me. Like, you know what I mean? That's
And
this
like, man, I'm
Darius
telling
M
you,
shit.
dude, if you met him, like, you'd be like, fuck, I'm about to suck this guy's dick. Like, he's so goddamn charismatic, man. You like, I've never met a single person that didn't love the guy.
Yeah.
He got fired from the place that we work, and everybody there still loves the guy.
Why'd he get fired?
We don't gotta talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm not trying
Whenever I had any questionable friends that wanted to buy a car, I would send them to him, and he was able to help them out and like make them happy. And those people are usually not happy; they're always grumpy and shit. So like,
Gotcha.
like I said, he can turn even the most miserable people around with a smile when a satisfied like vehicle purchase. So like, he's a true salesman through and through.
Yeah, dude, and you could have you could be
he
the
can
most
sell you on
miserable
anything.
cunt in the world, and like
Yeah.
he will break through and make you smile. Like the dude I sound like I'm about to fuck. I'm in love with the guy, but like he's the epitome of like the guy that those guys are talking about. Like he's kind of a fuckboy. I don't even think he'd be upset with me saying that, but
That's probably why he gets these girls, man.
Straight up. Yeah.
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 Women don't want to admit that, but
And
that's what
like
they go for.
That's another thing too is like what I was saying before, women want what they think that they can't have. Why do they always say like when you got a girlfriend, all of a sudden you got more girls looking at you. Does that seem a little bit more legit?
Yeah,
You're
no.
walking around with a girlfriend, now it looks like you got more girls looking at you. They're like, "Oh, Muck, he's pretty attractive. He's got a girlfriend. How come I'm not his girlfriend? I'm better looking than that girl." You know what I mean? It's like they want what they can't have.
Yeah.
And when these other females see him with other females, these other females get jealous because, "Oh, how come he didn't pick me? What's wrong with me?" And then they're like, try harder and shit. You know
But
what I mean?
don't you ever feel like that sometimes too?
What?
Like the same way that those girls would feel, like dealing with rejection and blah blah blah. blah,
Fuck
blah.
yeah. I'm not. Yeah, big time. Why they choose that guy? And I look at that. guy. I'm like, yo, I'm way better looking than that guy. Yeah, he's fucking 6 feet tall, but yeah, he's 6 feet tall. He's a little more jacked than me, but or whatever the case is. But like, I'm way better looking than that guy, and I'm probably a lot nicer than that guy. But they don't want nice. They want guys. Or they want nice once in a while. You know what I mean? So like I said,
They want to feel like they changed you to being nice.
well, they want alpha. They don't want beta. That guy seems like an alpha. He probably doesn't care about these girls' feelings at all. He probably doesn't give a fuck about them. He just cares about smashing. And
I don't know. Probably. I don't know.
I would think so. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Does he have a girlfriend? Or is he just running
He had a
through?
girlfriend when he first started working at one of our
Yeah,
dealerships.
in the time I
but
knew
then
him, I think
I
he
don't
was at
think
least
he ever-
seeing one girl for a bit.
Yeah,
He
but
probably kicked her to the curb because she was low value. You know what I mean?
I mean, he's the full package. He can get any girl.
This
He
is-
makes good money. He has the things he wants. He
So
travels.
that's the thing is he is a high valued man.
Like you just said, he's the full package. He really is.
High valued man. Well, he's not going to settle for a low valued female who thinks that
No.
she deserves to be with him because she's good looking. No, he wants a high value that is going to promote his life and contribute to his life and build him up as a fucking human being, and so that they can both be a powerhouse couple.
power
I would
couple,
assume.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But there's a power couple at that dealership. the one with the
couple at our dealership.
yeah, you can see them. Like, power couples are definitely a thing that like.
Oh fuck yeah, man! They're both high value human beings.
Yeah.
They both are high value
Making
to
moves.
each other. Yeah, whether they're, I guess, making moves or whatever, they just know their roles and they know what they both can provide for each other. Essentially. So, yeah.
We did have a bunch of topics we were going to talk about today, but we kind of got sidetracked on that. But that's cool. That I enjoyed that conversation more than we were going to talk about. Before we get to Would You Rathers and our end spiel there is one thing that we would like to talk about. I feel super terrible because I don't know her name, but the missing girl in Edmonton.
Lila
Smith.
Lila Smith, yeah. So we are all from Edmonton, I guess Dan's from Sherwood Park, but whatever. We're all from the Edmonton area, and in the news lately, 2 weeks? 3 weeks? A month?
Couple weeks.
June 24th is when she went missing.
The 24th.
June 24th.
Oh, okay.
So
So
a week and a half.
A week, 10 days, yeah. Fuck, I thought it was longer than that. She actually got quite posters and stuff went up for they.
Oh, dude, I've seen posters on my
I'm
street.
not gonna lie, and I'm super surprised about that. Go ahead.
A 13-year-old girl went missing where we're from. It's been 10 days, and she just got found yesterday. We're in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. She got found in Portland, Oregon, in the United States, which has got to be, 2,000 kilometers away?
Not that much.
15?
No, probably about that.
Well,
Because Vancouver's about 12 hours, so it's about 1,250 or 1,300 kilometers
east
Um,
and then down.
south, right? So that's another couple hundred kilometers.
Yeah, okay, yeah, probably.
Because you're going all the way
We'll
through
just say
Washington
17,
to get to Oregon.
fuck it.
Yeah,
So it got found
Yeah, yeah.
1,700 kilometers away in a separate country, and yeah.
Far exact?
1544.
1544 kilometers. So in miles, that's like fucking.
7 million, I think.
Yeah.
just under 1,000 miles away.
Yeah, just under 1,000 miles away for all you Americans.
So sorry, there was a lot of media attention. There's a lot of posters, a lot of billboards and stuff like that. Sorry, I just wanted to explain it before we got there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I found, I don't want to say I found it strange, but I see missing people shared on Facebook and shit all the time, but I never seen anybody get as much exposure as this little girl, and it was actually crazy because fucking everybody I know was sharing it. But then when I share one, nobody else shares it. You know what I mean? It's I don't know why I found it so strange that this one was more important than the other ones. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, there is a thing in the States and in Canada. In Canada, mostly with Indigenous people, and in the States, usually with Black people. But they say that the media. I mean, I'm not sure of this girl's hair color. I think it was brunette, but blonde girls get all the attention. If you're a white blonde girl, blue eyes, you're gonna have mad media like that.
It's like
Pedesto girl.
on Family Guy. There was this a part on Family Guy where all the reporters rushed. It was oh, Becky Johnson. Oh, no, actually, her name was Becky Rodriguez. Oh, there's no story here. And then they all just fucking run away. You know what I mean? So, I could see that.
I think for this one, it might have been just because everyone thought she was still here. Some people thought she ran away or she was somewhere local, but there's no Amber Alert. So, that's why I think a lot of the local people here were sharing it more because there wasn't as much Amber Alert coverage. And it wasn't oh, this girl went missing and her dad, her crazy stepdad took her and ran off to Saskatchewan or something somewhere. It was no, this girl went missing on this street within a half-hour window. Nobody's seen her, so she really can't be far.
I think it was north side. I think it was
Killarney,
St. C's area. Yeah.
So I think that's
right.
why everyone's just sharing because they all thought she may have been hiding out in someone's basement or something like that here locally, like a friend's house, and be gone. But I don't know. It depends. Some people, some missing persons cases have a crazy amount of search party people and crazy exposure, and some don't. And like Fred said, it's usually the affluent white people who have more coverage than the minorities, and that's kind of wild.
Which is super fucked up.
Yeah.
Well, you guys know who John Walsh is, right? America's Most Wanted host.
Yeah.
so, yeah.
How he came to fame was because his son got abducted and murdered. His son's name was Adam, and he got abducted and murdered. And then John Walsh, and I think he was already kind of famous or at least wealthy. I'm not 100% sure, but he made it his duty to like catch people. So like they
Yeah.
made like America's Most Wanted to like hunt all these people down or whatever. And
Pretty sure that show was really successful too, right?
yeah,
they
they had
found a lot of
lots
people.
of. Fuck man, my brother used to watch that when I was like 9 or 10 years old, and it used. I mean, now as an adult, knowing I have anxiety, I was a little kid, man. I used to fucking be checking out people, everybody at West Edmonton Mall the next day, thinking I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Is that
fucking
the
see
guy?
these
Is that the
people.
guy?
Like, fuck me, man.
Shit.
So what ended up happening that we've now come to learn was that she had met a 44-year-old man who lives in Portland, Oregon, in some sort of online 41. Sorry, a 41-year-old man that's from Portland, Oregon, or at least the area. And from what I understand, he like came up to get her.
Must be
Yeah, I
if they
guess.
met each other on an online chat room.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, they met each other on an online chat room, and then she got caught with him down in Portland. And then everyone's like super. The big question is how'd she get across the border?
Well, I mean,
And then the
people
news
smuggle
reports are
people all the
saying
time.
she went across at Abbotsford, BC.
Well, so when you say how'd they get across the border, they probably got across the border before all the news coverage was out. So you abduct somebody and then start immediately driving there. Well, it takes you, say, he said it was 1,500 kilometers. So it takes you 15 hours to drive there. So
Well, that's to Portland. To get to the border is probably what, like 12?
okay, so
Yeah,
yeah, so
10
And it
12
depends.
hours.
They might have just head straight south and
Exactly.
crossed south, like into Montana,
Exactly.
and then make your way
So
over to
12
Oregon.
hours, that starts at...
But you
well,
think you'd want? No, they said Abbotsford. Never mind. They
so
crossed at Abbotsford.
we'll go from 8 o'clock in the morning to 12 hours. That's 8 o'clock at night. There's multiple times where I didn't come home till 10 o'clock 20 o'clock at night, or you know what I
Yeah.
mean. You go to school, you go stay out with your buddies and shit. You don't come home till 10 o'clock at night. So she probably wasn't even reported missing until
No, I think they knew right away. I think because she didn't show up to school. It was like she was going to school and she disappeared like down the street from her school. And
One of the
called
school
her parents
cameras got
saying,
her or something. The last footage they had was very close to the school.
Yeah, very close to the school, exactly, but not like she didn't go in. So like they called her and saying like, "Hey, your daughter's not here," and then like I think they knew right away that she's missing. But yeah, the reason there wasn't all this media coverage and like border, like you know, at the border patrol they have these wanted or missing like posters, right? The reason that wasn't up was because, like I said, they didn't know if she had been abducted or she was just like
Skipping
ran
school.
off. So there was no Amber Alert issued until she was out of the like. By the time they figured out she was gone,
she's probably already in Portland.
she was out of the country, so they didn't issue an Amber Alert because they knew that wouldn't do nothing because it's only Canada wide, right? So,
But I
like-
mean, that being said, you have to use a passport to cross the border. At
yeah,
least
no,
you
but like if she
assume
went
would have
willingly
it.
with him, she can just hide herself in some compartment in a trunk. Like, unless they're X-raying your vehicle, they're not gonna know, or they search through your shit. If
Yeah.
she's willingly hiding somewhere, then she can just be quiet and like nobody knows she's there, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not that hard to get people across the border, like. if
One
they're
person, one
participating.
time. Yeah.
I wonder if she was willing.
Well,
Clearly, she met the
she
guy
met him
and-
on an
she
online
met the
portal,
guy and
yeah.
left with him,
Because
yeah.
he doesn't have to like. Yeah, people are weird, right? But he can like be nice to her until they get there and then do his evil shit, right? That
Oh,
way
yeah.
He makes sure he gets her across the border,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah,
people are fucked, man.
But yeah, no, he like lured her. They met here and they went together. That's the
That's
report
wild,
I
man.
heard.
The fact that that still happens now, like kids are a lot smarter with that kind of shit because that's like a meme. So like even young kids know like not to trust random people because like we made it a meme. But like that's wild that someone still got lured like that, especially from
I'm sure
out,
that
of,
shit
the,
happens every
out of
day.
the country. Yo, this guy came up across the border for this. Like
yeah, man.
I wonder what they told the border people he was doing when come up here with like. Because you always have to tell them a reason. Why are you coming to Canada today?
Travel.
Abducting a girl.
Yeah. Gonna
Okay,
abduct
come on
somebody
in.
up.
Come on in. Thank you.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Unfortunately, that shit probably happens a lot more than we know about.
For sure it does.
All the time, man. The highway of tears in BC, dog. All the missing Indigenous women along that highway, dog. Like, what was
Which
it? Like,
highway is that?
that's the one between Prince George and Prince Rupert, dog. Like northern BC. Like if you go past Grand Prairie, you're gonna hit Prince George.
Yeah.
And then between Prince George and Prince Rupert, that's I think the biggest stretch of it. I think it goes a little bit further than that, but yeah, there's been so many women missing along that highway, mostly Indigenous.
Yeah,
You know, they're hitchhiking all the way from back in like the '60s to now. Still, people go missing along there all the time.
Damn.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, it's just fucked up.
That's like
man.
a serial killer's heaven. That route, just
Wow.
pick people off. Yeah, man.
We did have an original idea for the name of this podcast, which was going to be "Throw It Back Viciously," but we never got to that story, and we won't have to get to that story. I think now the name's going to be I make the bacon. I bring home the bacon. She makes the bacon. Yeah, we're good there. You got a would you rather for us and a facts and shite, Dan, or Dan? Sorry, Zach.
Yeah, it's okay. So the would you rather kind of pertains, I guess, to a little bit what Nico was talking about earlier. But would you rather be dating a girl that you found out had an OnlyFans or was a stripper? And not that there's a problem with either of those professions, as long as you're getting money and doing it, and by not hurting anybody else, do what you got to do. But what would you, if you had to choose, what would you rather have?
I would say OnlyFans.
Yeah, me too.
Why is that?
Because there's no contact. There's no, like, you know what I mean? You're just looking at somebody on the internet. You're just looking at pictures, videos, blah, blah, blah. Whereas at the strippers, you got, like, creepy-ass fucking dudes and shit that
Getting
are, like,
fondled and shit.
right there, you know what I mean? The chances of your woman getting fucking fondled and shit is, like, exponential.
Developing a drug habit.
Yeah, it could become a fucking crackhead and shit, or, like, a cokehead or whatever, like...
The only one thing about the OnlyFans is, like, technically if any of your buddies or whatever found out, they could be checking out your wife's fucking butthole and you'd never know.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
you never would,
Well,
you
the
know.
people
Potential,
aren't
a lot more
always naked
exposure.
on OnlyFans. They do feet and shit too, just feet pics.
Those guys are getting hustled.
Probably,
Those
yeah.
those guys who pay for that shit are getting
I'm pretty
hustled.
sure there's certain girls out there or whoever or couples or whatever they're doing that make like 5 to 6 figures monthly on OnlyFans.
I actually, so my friend's friend and his old lady, well, it's actually his old lady's OnlyFans, but they do shit on there together, and she makes, like, she doesn't make that much, but she makes fucking bank, yo.
I know a couple girls that have OnlyFans.
They make fucking money, man, which
Yeah.
is, I mean, I'm sure a guy could also make money as well.
There
If there's
used to-
other guys, well, probably other guys looking at him, you know what I mean? It's not just going to be these females buying OnlyFans accounts to check out dudes. It's obviously going to be dudes checking out dudes. So, which is...
When I worked at Gold Teeth, there was a tattoo shop in the basement, and a male tattoo artist that worked there had OnlyFans. And I smoked a joint with another artist there, and he was like, "Yeah, that guy has an OnlyFans." And I was like, "So, you guys like?" He's like, "Nah, we don't really ask." So I don't know if he's like a gay dude or straight dude. I have no idea, but he's got an OnlyFans. Apparently, makes good money.
That's the thing, is you don't have to be, like... In my opinion,
You don't have to be gay for gay dudes to get off.
Yeah,
to you.
yeah, man. You don't have to be gay. Like, it's not like you're watching them do shit. It's them watching you. You don't have to know if they're a male or a female. You don't even have to know. You know what I mean? As long as they're giving you that money.
You know they can message you and ask for like certain shit from you.
Yes.
Right? Like,
So,
like,
I was gonna say that my friend's friend, the guy and the female, who have the OnlyFans, my buddy told me that he would get messages like, "Yo, I want to see your boyfriend like jerking off. I'll give him $60 or whatever." And she was like, "No, fuck that." And buddy was like, "Yo, are you kidding me? Take that video camera out. I'm getting that 60. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting that money. I don't care if it's a male or a female. I'm getting that money. You know what I mean?
$60 is 60 bucks.
Hey, man, you do that 10 times? That's fucking $600, man.
For a fucking load you were gonna beat off anyway.
Take you fucking 5 minutes worth of work for $60, man. Maybe not even 5 minutes.
I was gonna say 5.
Not even 5 minutes. That's being generous. You know what I mean? So, like, you do that 10 times a day, that's $600. Do that fucking...
Nah, Nico,
7 days a week.
You got to do it the right way. You do it once and you sell the same video 10 times in a day, dog.
I guess, yeah.
Attaboy, Dad.
You better put that picture
Work
on
smarter,
there.
not harder. Work smarter, not harder.
Pretty much.
So yeah, I guess probably OnlyFans as well. And to be honest, I'd probably just fucking get in there and start smashing her out too and try and make some more content because I'm a fucking sicko.
Well, yeah, man, make the content. More content is better, man. People, like...
Do some collab with some other OnlyFans girl, make some great content.
And any social media is based on content, whether you're doing Instagram, fucking OnlyFans,
TikTok,
Snapchat, YouTube, whatever. You got to upload. Consistency is key.
Yeah, keep people watching. Keep them sucked in or whatever.
Or
That's what I'm
sucked
saying. Even
out.
if you have a couple, 2 or 3
Sucked
shitty
off,
videos,
yeah.
if there's 4 good ones in the week and there's 2 or 3 shitty ones, you're gonna get the same amount of views on all of them. So even though like you get paid on the shitty content just as much as you get paid on the good content.
Yeah,
and it's
pretty
just,
much.
like,
Yeah.
Consistency. Money.
What else you got for us?
I got some facts about space if you guys want to
Nice. I
hear.
love
Yeah,
space.
let's hear it.
Okay, so the hottest planet in our solar system is actually 450 degrees Celsius. And
Mercury?
No, Venus. You'd think it would be Mercury, but Mercury would be the hottest since it's the closest to the sun, but has no atmosphere, which is what regulates the temperature. So it results in big fluctuations. So at certain points, it could probably be a lot lower versus higher, but the most consistently hot planet is Venus. Back in 1974, a full NASA spacesuit cost $12 million.
Damn.
Yeah.
What does it cost now?
Well, with inflation, if it was still the same thing, it said that would cost an estimated $150 million today. But obviously, they've refined that and kind of probably got their parts from China, made it a little bit cheaper.
Was that pure material
Alibaba.
cost, or is that cost
No,
including R&D?
No, most of it, it says here that 70% of that cost is for the backpack and the control module. So just probably the electronics and what regulates their...
Yeah, the mini jetpack that they got on.
Yeah, and their ability to
I
breathe.
wonder
And,
if how, including R&D. I wonder how much it would actually.
Well, I mean, it depends, right? I don't know if they... Is internal invoicing for anything, whether it's a government agency or nonprofit. So I don't know if they would invoice for R&D costs or just
yeah,
purely
I wonder
material
if that
costs.
just like material, is that labor, is that
Yeah,
R&D,
like that'd be
is
really
that...
interesting, but that's... Yeah, that's not a question we can answer, I don't think.
No,
I
not
don't think
at
NASA has their books open for us to just...
no, and this information I got from Arizona State University, so you know it's fucking top notch.
Top notch. Yeah,
Best
yeah,
party
You-
school in universe in
That's
America.
right, exactly. Okay, so another fact: 1 million Earths can fit inside the sun.
Jesus.
The sun is large enough that approximately 1.3 million Earths could fit inside if squashed in, or if the Earths retain their spherical shape, then 960,000 would fit in. So that there's probably going to be the empty gaps.
Yeah.
So, there are more trees on Earth than there are stars in the Milky Way. There are about 3 trillion trees on planet Earth and about 100 to 400 billion stars approximately in the galaxy. There
Really?
there are more stars in the universe.
Yeah, I don't know if Dan looking at me like,
That seems sus.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they said the Milky Way, which would make sense, because that's a
just
limited
one.
amount. That's
just
one galaxy.
one galaxy out.
Yeah, out of endless.
But I do like that the
Endless.
number goes from 100 to 400 billion, which is a huge range. So that leads me to believe it could be a lot more. It could be a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They probably
yeah.
don't have it exactly honed in. Otherwise, it would be like 350 to 400 million instead of 100 to 400.
It's kind of
Yeah.
hard to count all the trees on the fucking planet.
yeah.
Well, there's got to be some sort of
No,
equation that they use.
Yeah,
to
they
figure
have
Use
to
it out.
take a-
satellites nowadays have such incredible
True.
3D like mapping that they can just determine what's a tree, and
That's
it's all
true too.
calculated by supercomputers. They'll just analyze all the data and tell
okay.
you this is how much is there. It's retarded, man. There's people who are surveying nowadays. They just have a drone with a 3D scanner on it, and they just fly the drone up and down a certain stretch of land until everything's scanned, and they have a full 3D scan of everything. And if they have a certain like adapter on that thing, they can scan through soft organic materials like the trees and shit like that, and they can actually remove all the trees and have a pure topographic map of the actual ground layout. It's ridiculous, man. Like, there's people that make
sounds
mad
dope.
money like that.
Yeah,
But yeah,
cool as
if you can buy that as a contractor nowadays, whatever the government's got in satellites in space, man, they can map out anything. They can probably tell you exactly how many boats there are on this fucking planet. They probably have a list of everything. It's like, oh, our satellites detect this much of this shit.
Damn.
It's wild.
I would have thought they just would have taken like sections of places and done mad multiplication.
Yeah.
You can probably do
10
that.
trees in this spot, 10 times fucking however many miles or kilometers.
I would assume they would have done like an acre at a time, an acre like squared,
Yeah,
and then been
yeah,
like, there's
yeah.
700 acres here or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, but
But
that's so
that's
so random.
probably
Like
actually
tree
smart.
density and shit like
Yeah.
that can be so different, especially depending on what the rest of the environment's like that the satellite can't determine. So it's like I said, nowadays, like this is recent, right? I'm not saying we've known this since like the 80s, but like
Yeah.
yeah, nowadays scanners are so advanced, we probably know everything to the fucking T. More conspiracy shit, you know.
I got one more. One day on Venus is longer than one year. Venus has a slow axis rotation, which takes 243 Earth days to complete its day. The orbit of Venus around the Sun is 225 Earth days, making a year on Venus 18 days less than a day on Venus.
What?
That didn't make any sense. Making a day on Earth Forget the last part of that.
So wait, what was the first part? Sorry.
1 day on Venus is longer than 1 year. I don't think this paragraph makes sense.
Yeah,
Now that
so it takes one full rotation
Takes 243 Earth days.
to make one full rotation.
Yeah, 1 day is 240 days.
Yeah, it's 243 days, yeah.
Yeah.
But then it also says the orbit of Venus around the sun is 225 Earth days.
Well, think about it.
So if you
Each
take the
day is
difference,
a-
that's 18.
Each day is an Earth rotation, and each year is a rotation around the sun. Right?
Yes.
So
Right.
like, that's where the
Yes,
that's
200 takes 200 to go this way and
Yeah.
200 to go this
yeah,
way.
exactly. So it almost spins as quick as
Yeah.
it goes around, which is
So
weird.
1 year.
Oh,
and
see,
1
okay, now
day
it
in
makes
Venus
sense.
are almost the same.
No, listen, that's what.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
now it makes sense. Making a year on Venus 18 days or 18 days less than a day on Venus.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
So it
yeah.
does make sense.
Yeah.
It's
I'm just
orbital
stupid.
rotation,
Yeah.
and it's
Axis spinning.
it's
Yeah.
rotation
Fairly
around the
close
sun,
to
and
the
its
same.
orbital rotation are almost the same rate.
That's,
Yes.
that's pretty
exactly.
cool.
That is
Yeah.
actually pretty fucking cool.
So your year is less long than your day.
Yeah.
That's cool. Nice.
That's
You can
crazy.
celebrate the year more.
And
often
it's
than
hot.
you
Yeah.
do.
Close. And it's hot. It's the hottest planet as well, right?
Fuck.
Because it never rotates. That's why one area gets so hot
Oh,
because it doesn't
probably.
get a
It's
cool down
just
because it takes
barren and
more than a
desolate.
year for it
Yeah.
to rotate.
And then the other side just barely
cold as fuck, probably. Yeah.
What kind of atmosphere does it have? Does
It
say
doesn't
that?
have an atmosphere, remember? It says it has no atmosphere, which is what regulates the temperature, which is resulting
that
in...
That's probably why
Mercury?
the sun cooked that
Oh, that
shit
was
away.
Mercury, you're right, not Venus.
What kind of atmosphere does Venus have?
Let me check it out.
Is it like
It's all gases, isn't it?
Probably.
Probably, yeah. It's probably what holds all the heat in, right?
Apparently the sun is 75% hydrogen and the rest is helium.
Big Hindenburg in the sky.
Basically.
I hate
Hopefully it
what?
doesn't crash.
Hindenburg, the
Yeah,
Zeppelin.
remember the
Oh
blimp
yeah,
that
yeah.
crashed?
Oh yeah.
So Venus has a thick, toxic atmosphere filled with carbon dioxide, and it's perpetually shrouded in thick, yellowish clouds of a sulfuric acid that trap heat, causing a runaway greenhouse effect. It's the hottest planet in our solar system, even though Mercury is closer to the sun.
Cool. The more you know.
The more you know.
Oh, dude, check this out. The atmosphere of Venus is very hot and thick. You would not survive a visit to the surface of the planet. You couldn't breathe the air. You would be crushed by the enormous weight of the atmosphere, and you would burn up in surface temperatures high enough to melt lead.
Damn.
So pretty much hell.
Basically, yeah.
Crazy.
Going once? Going twice? It's been another episode of 7 Days Makes 1 Week. Thanks for sticking around to the end, even though I'm sure there's probably one of you still listening to us retards talk. Yeah. Peace.